Now, straight after the break, we'll have a brand new episode of Kent Film Club. It's our programme where figures from across Kent come into the studio to discuss their 4 favourite films. The show's presenter, Chris Deacy, joins me in the studio now. Chris, thank you so much for joining us. So I wanted to start actually by talking a little bit about Ollie's report there. We saw those antique Barbie dolls and trading cards that are going up for sale over in Canterbury. Is there a film that you would say has grown in value over time, much like those Barbies and Pokemon cards we were seeing in the piece?
I think that's a brilliant question, because there are those films that you watch when you're young, and you know, when I was growing up, you'd have to wait months before the film would come out on VHS to rent, and another 6 months before you could buy it. So in those days, for me, it was actually having the physical copy of the film, but having mementos of a film, because it's like the football packs, football cards, you know, the sticker albums when you were growing up in school and trading them in the school playground. So I would say it would have to be a Scorsese film. Not sure there are too many Scorsese film figurines, but a Max Cady from Cape Fear with all the tattoos, I think that for me would be worth a pretty penny.
That's it, because some of those like old films that you watch with your parents, they seem perhaps even more special now, don't they? Now that they've grown with time. So it'll be interesting to see what films of today are sort of doing better in a few decades or so. And we were hearing about Barbie dolls there. Of course, that film did so well. And we were hearing about sort of the potential for more toy-based movies on the horizon, from The Sims to Polly Pocket, and I was even reading today about a Monopoly movie. So do you think there's an element of nostalgia that comes into making these types of films popular?
Yeah, because it's a big thing, because even when you had like the Emoji movie some years ago, so even something in a digital world created virtually can have its kind of figurine memento type property. And that's the great thing about nostalgia, because there's that sense that sometimes we want to have the physical version of something to hold on to, something that sort of almost proves that it happened, that encapsulates something from our past. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see what happens with because Barbie dolls have been going for decades, but to have something specifically from the film, the Barbie, you know, figurine from last summer's film, it'll be interesting to see how that fits into the Barbie landscape in 2 or 3 decades' time.
And some more film news. There's a 4th Bridget Jones coming out. Personally, really excited about this one. Are you a fan yourself?
I am. I saw Bridget Jones's Baby during lockdown at a cinema in Kent, Blue Water. I was like the only person in there. It was a few years after it was made. And it was like seeing your whole life before you, because all that thing, whether you're male or female, second chances. And okay, she has to choose between the barrister and the billionaire. So it's not, you know, not necessarily the choices I've ever encountered in my life, but there's something in there about the way that we all go on this journey and we all find ourselves lucky in love, unlucky in love. It's the sliding doors thing all over. And it has this universal appeal.
And for me, I can't believe Colin Firth's not going to be in it. Is it Bridget Jones without Colin Firth?
Well, I do have a friend who has a cardboard, she'll hate me for saying this, a cardboard cutout of Colin Firth in her home. And she said she's not going to watch the new film, but she will watch maybe all the other Colin, well, she doesn't need to, she's got Colin Firth with her. So back to mementos.
Yes, exactly, we'll do that. And then it will be like he's there.
Yeah.
And very quickly, what's coming up on Kent Film Club tonight?
So we have Kevin Lawrence, who's from the west side of Chicago, and he's chosen a couple of blaxploitation movies. We have a Hong Kong film, In the Mood for Love, and also Trainspotting, which he saw in America. And I can't remember whether he said it's dubbed or subtitled, but it certainly had to be watched more than once in order to get the authentic Scottish accents.
Oh, interesting. Well, a really varied choice of films there, Chris. Thank you very much for joining us. And of course, viewers can stick around to see that brand new episode.